Okay, so I was just out riding my bike and I roll up on this guy here right around the corner from my house, which is kind of insulting, but this is Vance. He's with Pristine Clean here in Savannah, Georgia. So I stopped, I wanted to talk with him, check out his equipment, hear his story, and this is a good one, so keep watching. All right, man, so tell us how long you've been in business.
I started in 2010, actually. I ran the business for about 3 years, and I went off to California to The Voice.
Okay, he went to California to be on The Voice.
Yeah.
So, not pressure washing related, but so tell me about that experience. How did that happen? You're obviously a singer.
Yes. So I always been into music since I was little. My mom is actually out here with me.
And that's who I met first.
Yeah. So I've always been a big supporter, advocate for like just following my dreams. You know what I'm saying? And not pushing me towards college or just any one particular thing. And I took advantage of it.
So how'd it go?
I made it to battles. I was on season 8, actually. You can
Okay.
still Google
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna put it in here. That's cool.
Yeah, season 8.
So who turned for you?
Christina and Pharrell Williams turned.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, in saying that, you know, as it pertains to like the business, I dropped everything. I mean everything. To go there in hopes that I would be like this superstar or whatever. So that didn't happen. But I still do music. But back to the pressure washing, how this happened was I came back. Just imagine being on a high. I was on this high of like, when I was there, I'm like, oh yeah, everything's gonna work out. Even if I don't make it, you know, super far on the show, I can, you know,
Leverage what's yours. Yeah.
But, you know, you got bills, you got responsibilities, and you make a little bit of money on the show, but it's not like enough to sustain a realistic lifestyle, you know. And so I came back and I had some gigs, some shows and stuff, but it kind of fizzled away, and I'm like, dang, I gotta start over. So all the customers I had when I first went out there, it was just like they disappeared.
Yeah.
And I wasn't following up either.
And were you keeping track of them? Like,
and see, I wasn't following up.
Yeah.
I never followed up. I was new to business in general. I never ran a business. I never too much focused on like how to run a business. I just jumped out there. I quit my job cold turkey and just started.
Yeah.
You know, and I paid for it because I didn't keep up. I didn't even tell I think if I would have told my customers that I was going to The Voice, they would have
followed you at least, and then you'd have been on the top of their mind. Hey, I'm back.
And I think that, like I said, I take responsibility for that. So when I got back 2015, 16, working a job at Meadowbrook, I was always good with my hands. So I was doing mechanics.
Right.
And I worked there for maybe a year or two, and I always had it in my mind I wanted to get back into pressure washing. I had sold all my equipment prior to moving, you know, going to California for that span of time. So when I came back, I'm like, then I got people coming up to me like, hey man, where you?
Yeah.
I'm working a job, and so it depressed me a little bit.
Yeah, it can get in your head.
It depressed me, and so I ran into this thing where I'm going to these different jobs and working different jobs and just not finding the happiness that I wanted. And before I went to The Voice, I was working for myself.
Yeah.
So to come back and start working for somebody after 3 years of just entrepreneurship, it's like it wasn't what I was looking for. So got the job, and I got sick of asking people for raises and stuff like that. And I'm like, I know what I'm worth, and I knew what I could potentially do if I started a business. I wanted to be bigger than what it was before I left.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be something I could incorporate my family with, just make it bigger than what it was before, just it being me. So one day I asked the guy that owned the company, I was like, because I was making them hundreds of thousands of dollars every month. And I asked him for like $1 or $2 raise. And he looked at me like, whatever, we'll talk about it later. And that day, I resigned. I had no customers. No customers. I didn't even have a commercial pressure. I think I had like an old Home Depot pressure washer that was just sitting. I had like 50 feet of hose, a gun.
Hey, but you had the will and the drive, and you knew what you wanted. And that's all it takes.
Yeah. So the same day I quit, I'm calling my friends, I'm calling my mom. Everybody think I'm crazy. They're like, you quit your job. Like my mom was like, you better go what are you doing? You got, you better go get your job. So I called my best friend. He was like, you need a job? Because he ran a dealership. He was like, well, you want to come work for me or whatever? I said, nah, I'm finna. He was like, well, I said, I'm finna do my pressure washing. And he was like, well, do you have any customers? I'm like,
Not yet.
not yet, but I'm trying to be strong for everybody around me, but
Right.
deep inside, I'm like, this is not going to be easy.
And see, this is one of the things that so many guys they don't have the support or the backing of the people they love. And these people love you, but they just are like, damn, like, because not many people have the balls or the testicular fortitude to go out there and do what you did. Quit a job and do your own thing. That's huge.
No parachute.
No parachute.
I had no...
Burn the boats.
Yeah, and, getting back to... what made me, quit the job was like I said, I knew my worth. And that, I think that just catapulted me further than what I could have ever imagined. Some people look at it as a small business, but when you started from nothing, just having, even if you got 20 consistent customers, from nothing is a lot.
It is.
You see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I didn't get caught up in the numbers. I just got caught up in doing the best job that I could do with what I had.
Yeah. Word of mouth, referrals come from that.
That's, ultimately what happened. And then, you hit rough patches in business, of course. Just machines going down, trying to learn how to save. Because I wasn't used to making as much money as I started making. But, back to when I said I quit my job, I know I'm rambling, but...
Nah, dude.
So, I quit my job. The ride home was the longest ride I ever... Oh, my God. It was like only maybe a 20-minute ride, but it felt like an hour, And I get home, and I had got shirts made with... It was just like nothing with a logo or nothing. It was just pristine, clean pressure washer. Yeah. So, I put it on, and I had like a hat with my name on it, and so... I literally got in my Ford Explorer, had a 97 Ford Explorer at the time that I worked with, and I went out just driving around door knocking. That same day, I quit my job maybe at I remember 10:30. It was like during a break. I go out there, I'm driving around, and I get to this roundabout in Pooler, and I had my magnets on my truck, and this lady, I'll never forget her name was Medea. She stopped me. She was like, "Do you do commercial pressure washing? Or have you ever?" I said, "Yeah."
I'll do anything.
I was like, "Yeah, I do it." And went and I bid it. I bid it on the job that day. The next day she called me, and it was like a $6,800 job. Now it was good that I got the job, but I'm like, I didn't know anything about renting equipment at the time. I never rented equipment. I didn't even have commercial equipment, so I did it with a Honda, like a Home Depot Honda. It was the worst experience ever, but halfway through the job, I found, L&H, and I rented the rest of the equipment to get the job done and just took it off the top of it. That brought more contracts.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it was just like, I never looked back, man.
That's awesome. So what kind of marketing are you doing now?
So I did the Facebook ads and, wrapping the trailers and stuff like that. But I'm not going to lie, man. Over the course of these 6-7 years, word of mouth has been pouring in customers. So I don't really gotta.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a great place to be.
And then, when I first started, this was something that I learned in business too. Sometimes when you overshoot yourself, assert yourself to people, you get some headache customers a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Versus referrals, because they already trust the work. You see what I'm saying?
I know, yeah.
And so I started to just realize that over time, because I was door knocking, and I'm pretty sure you door knocked before and got turned down, and people just don't want to talk. But you got to keep going, of course.
Right.
But once you build a name and people know you and they know your work, it sells itself.
Absolutely, man. And I tell you, the referrals, they pay more. They're more likely to go for upsells because they already trust you. They trust the people that told them about you. Yeah, referrals. I mean, that's like stage 2. That's, friends and family first. Then you go after the referrals, the reviews, the before and after pictures that you can use in your marketing. Yeah. It's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your equipment. You started off small, at least on the second go around. I looked in the back. It looks like you got some good stuff back there. Mom's over here crushing it. So can we go take a look at the equipment? Sorry, I'm interfering with the work. You're doing awesome though. Okay. All right, so walk me through what we've got here.
All right, so I have a 390 up front, is a 5.5, a Honda. I have 3 of them in here. They're all the same, they're 5.5s. I converted this trailer so many times. I had hot water in it, took it out because I really wasn't using a lot of hot water. Well, a third trailer I just sold. It was my soft wash. But I almost fell off a roof, so.
You done with roofs?
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I just was like, okay, well, let me simplify it. Whatever is working for what I do, I'm just gonna stick to that until I have to,
Right.
upgrade or whatever. So this next year we're gonna go up to 8 gallon a minute, and just to speed up the time.
Yeah.
More water volume.
More efficiency. I always say more flow, more dough.
More flow, more dough. Yeah, that's true. And so we got 390 Hondas with 5.5 pumps. We got I think that's a 55 gallon chemical tank.
Right.
We got Titan reel.
225, 220 chemical or water tank.
Yep.
Titan hose reels, ladders. You're all set. You got everything you need. So you talked about upgrades, talking about going to 8 gallon per minute, maybe adding a soft wash system in the future. There's a lot of good stuff. I mean, we do a lot of roofs. Try to stay on the ground as much as possible. But man, I tell you, roofs, that's scary stuff, right? And there is no job out here, no amount of money that's worth your safety. And I try to tell people that all the time. But yeah, this is beautiful, man. And
it's just simple. When I first started, man, I just thought going big was just everything. I mean, I had a lot of equipment that all of it took more maintenance. It took, more upkeep and just trying to you might have a machine that you don't start for a while, and then when you start it, you got the hose busting or something leaking, and I just was like, you know what machines will I use the most?
Right.
So I got 2 machines that we primarily use, and then I have a backup machine.
Yeah.
That way, if my machine go out, we could still get the job
right
done.
Well, and like in my business, we've gone from I've been in business for 21 years. So we start with 2 guys. We got all the way up to 10 guys, 12 guys, like 2 part-time guys at one point, and now we're back down to just 2 with a third helper, because I'm done. Like it's like the added stress, the added, the maintenance on the equipment if you don't use it. And so you can actually increase your prices and decrease the volume and do pretty damn well. But man, I appreciate you. You've got a great story. I wish you a ton of success. I don't want you a lot of success in my neighborhood.
No,
I'm kidding, man. But no, awesome to meet you. And I appreciate you spending some time with us today.